What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Psych Reacts. I am Poseidon, and today we are going to be looking at Bernard Giles. This man, when he was only 21, was responsible for 5 murders. This is an interview, obviously way later on, with Piers Morgan, and let's take a look at this killer.
That day that you went out, when you did kill for the first time, was that a morning when you woke up and you were with your wife and daughter and you just, something hit you and you went,
no.
Today may be the day?
Every day may be the day.
Every day?
Every day may be the day.
Do you know the name of your first victim?
No, sir. Not now. Nancy Jerry.
First off, I want to point out that he says, no, sir, I do not remember the name of my first victim. But then he gives it a little bit of thought and he says, Jerry, Nancy Jerry. So I believe that he does actually know his first victim and he was trying to make it seem like he didn't. I feel like for psychopaths and for serial killers like this, their first kill is the most memorable because it's the kill that got the most out of them. So what I mean by that is for serial killers and psychopaths, killing is like a drug addiction. You take that first little bit of a drug, you get that high euphoria, you're on cloud 9 or whatever. And that's the same thing for killers when they have their first kill that are like psychopaths or serial killers. They kill, they get a euphoria from it, and he goes on to explain what his first kill was like. So this further backs up my statement of his first kill being euphoric. So that first kill for him was like doing a drug for the first time and you reach that high. That's how he felt, and he said, oh my god, I gotta do that again. That's usually how serial killers or psychopaths kill again, because they're ultimately trying to achieve that high for the second time, and they try to one-up it. So yeah, I don't believe that he did forget his first victim's name. I don't believe that at all, because it only takes him a second to remember what her name was. I believe that he truly didn't forget his first victim's name.
Do you know anything about her life?
I found out later she was a singer in a bar. That was it.
Tell me what happened.
Picked her up in Titusville. There's a wooded area, and I pulled off the road.
What did she look like?
A little shorter than me, fairly well built, pretty but not particularly pretty, brown hair. That's about it.
And at what point did she realize that you were going to harm her?
Well, not necessarily that I was going to harm her, because most of them don't assume you're actually going to kill them. Most of them assume it's a rape or something like that.
And what did you then do?
I told her to get out of the car, and that's when she became afraid. Up to that point, I assumed that she thought it was just going to be a rape. I walked her over in front of a tree, and then I shot her.
So I want to point out his lack of empathy here because Piers Morgan said, when did she realize that you were going to harm her? And he said, well, not necessarily going to harm her, but I think that most of the time they assume that it's going to be rape and no one's actually going to kill you. So he already is disassociating rape from harm. That's how low he thinks of these people and how desensitized he is towards rape. So next up, he's going to describe how it felt when he shot Nancy Jerry, and I want you to pay close attention to what he says.
And then I shot her.
Just like that?
Yes, sir.
And what were you feeling as you did that?
I mean, the thing is what is your passion in your life? What is the thing that you like to do more than anything else? And you're doing it. You are so there that it's like you can see the atoms vibrating. I mean, it's difficult to describe.
So it's almost like for him, killing is reaching that euphoria. And he also mentions that you can almost see the atoms because that's how enhanced his senses are during the killing. This next part here is quite chilling and terrifying, so let's take a look.
Soon after the killings, his wife and daughter left the trailer park and moved out of the state. He would never see them again.
You lost a wife, you lost your daughter.
I lost everything.
You lost everything, yeah. And do you know what happened to your daughter?
Was
Have you ever heard from her?
No, no, sir.
How does that make you feel?
What can you do with that?
We had a picture there.
You?
What do you feel when you see your daughter?
I don't know exactly.
When you look at your own daughter, that age, smiling, innocent, happy, what do you feel about the young woman you killed? That age, see your daughter.
I don't know exactly.
So that's quite terrifying, right? He looks at his own daughter, his own DNA, his own child. Piers asks, "How do you feel when you look at your daughter?" His response, "I don't know exactly." Because he has no emotional attachment to his own child. He doesn't feel anything towards her because the family is just a ruse to fit in. This is how a lot of psychopaths go unnoticed because they know how to fit in. They know that a family, a job, a daughter, and a house, and all that normal stuff is a way to blend in. They're not doing it because they have emotional attachment to the people. They're doing it to fit in and disguise themselves in society. This next part gets even more disturbing.
When you look at your own daughter, that age, smiling, innocent, happy, what do you feel about the young woman you killed?
I don't put those together.
I mean, what would you feel about a man who snatched your daughter and terrorized and raped and killed her?
I certainly wouldn't appreciate it.
That's it? That's how you'd feel?
Like I said, I certainly wouldn't appreciate it.
So that already illustrates how unattached he is to his own daughter. He doesn't have the ability to connect his own daughter to the woman that he killed. Normal people would see, oh my god, that's someone's daughter, oh my god, that's someone's sister, you know, like people can make those connections, but with him, he's unable to do so. So when Piers asks him, how would you feel if someone would do this to your daughter? He's unable to connect Nancy, Jerry's life to his daughter's life because he has no emotional attachment to his own daughter. One other thing I want to point out is when Piers says, how would you feel if someone snatched your daughter, took her, terrorized her, raped her, and then killed her? He goes, I certainly wouldn't appreciate it. It's almost like someone's taking a candy bar from him, and he's like, well, that's not nice. Why would you take my candy bar? That's his reaction towards someone raping and killing his daughter. Also, I want to rewatch this one part because I want you to pay attention to his body language. So let's rewatch when Piers asks this question.
And killed her.
I certainly wouldn't appreciate it.
And raped and man who snatched your daughter. I mean, what would you feel about a man who snatched your daughter and terrorized and raped and killed her?
I certainly wouldn't appreciate it.
That's it? That's how you'd feel?
Like I said, I
Did you see that body language? Just go through it again and even watch it at a slower playback.
Yeah.
See his whole composure here?
like I said, I
Let's watch that one more time. See that? His body language is like, whatever. That's his body language reaction. Because he shakes his head and he shrugs his shoulders. He's like, that's how I'd feel about it. I wouldn't appreciate it. So I thought that was pretty important to point out because his body language is matching his words, and that speaks volumes. He truly has no reaction to someone snatching, raping, and killing his own daughter. He just wouldn't appreciate it. That's it. I also want to point out an article I found. I thought it was kind of funny because on murderpedia.org, okay, it's probably not like a trustful source, it's not academic at all or whatever, but I just want to point out this one section here. This is talking about his first murder trial in April and what the judge's ruling was on that. So it said, Strawn, who is the judge, ordered Giles sent to a state hospital for treatment as a mentally disturbed sex offender. Giles will not begin serving time in prison until he has been declared cured by a state psychiatrist. Declared cured. Honey, there ain't no cure for this man. Hello? So I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was pretty interesting. He will be in that hospital for the rest of his life because you cannot cure a psychopath. There is no cure for that. There is no way you could cure that. And that to me was quite funny because there is no curing this man. This man is a monster. He is a psychopath. There's nothing you can do about it. So I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, this video was under Dark Matter's channel. You can go check it out. It is super fun to watch. This has been my analysis on Bernard Giles. I just want to point out again that I am not an expert. I am still in school and I am a psych major, so I'm still learning. There are things that I could be wrong about, but let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. I would love to hear them. If you did enjoy this video and want to see more psych reacts in the future, be sure to drop a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. We just reached 500 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. And let's start heading for that 1,000 goal. So thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.